What was supposed to be a routine celebrity visit has turned into an international incident that has left the entertainment world reeling and questioning the dangerous extremes of fan culture. Chinese drama superstars Xukai and SongYun found themselves at the center of an unprecedented security nightmare at Incheon International Airport that has sent shockwaves through both the Chinese and Korean entertainment industries. The incident, which unfolded like a scene from a disaster movie, began when thousands of Korean fans somehow obtained insider information about the actor's arrival time and gate number. What happened next was nothing short of catastrophic. A human tsunami of screaming fans that transformed South Korea's busiest airport into what witnesses described as complete pandemonium and a war zone of obsession. But how did two beloved actors become prisoners in their own success story? The answer lies in a perfect storm of social media hysteria, inadequate security planning, and the terrifying power of modern fan culture that has spiraled completely out of control. What started as an innocent promotional visit has now become a cautionary tale that exposes the shocking reality of what happens when celebrity worship crosses dangerous lines. The calm before the storm. A seemingly normal arrival turns deadly. Airport surveillance footage reveals that at exactly p.m. local time, Xukai and SongYun's private jet touched down at Incheon International Airport. The actors, who had been invited to South Korea for a special screening of their latest collaboration, The Love Script, were expecting a modest welcome from local media and perhaps a handful of dedicated fans. Instead, they walked directly into what security experts are now calling the most dangerous celebrity mob incident in South Korean aviation history. The first sign of trouble came when airport staff noticed an unusual number of young people gathering in the international arrivals area as early as a.m. nearly hours before the scheduled landing. By noon, the crowd had swelled to an estimated people, with many carrying homemade banners, professional camera equipment, and disturbing personal items, including locks of their own hair intended as gifts. Airport management, caught completely off guard by the scale of the gathering, made their first critical mistake by failing to implement emergency crowd control measures. "I've worked at this airport for years and I've never seen anything like it," revealed Kim Jong-un, a senior baggage handler who witnessed the events unfold. These weren't normal fans. They were like people possessed. Some were crying, some were hyperventilating, and many were pushing elderly passengers and families with children just to get closer to where they thought the celebrities would appear. What makes this incident even more shocking is the revelation that the fan gathering was orchestrated through a sophisticated network of social media accounts and underground fan clubs that had been planning this surprise welcome for weeks. Investigators have discovered that detailed airport layouts, security camera blind spots, and even staff shift schedules had been shared among fan groups, suggesting a level of premeditation that borders on stalking. The situation escalated dramatically when someone in the crowd falsely announced that Xukai and SongYun were about to emerge from gate. The resulting stampede injured people, including a year-old grandmother who was knocked unconscious and had to be rushed to the hospital with a suspected concussion. This grandmother's family is now pursuing legal action against both the airport and what they're calling the dangerous cult of celebrity worship. The moment everything went wrong, when dreams turned into nightmares at p.m., when Xukai and SongYun finally appeared in the arrivals hall, the scene that greeted them was unlike anything they had ever experienced in their combined decades of celebrity. The crowd, which had grown to an estimated people, erupted in what can only be described as primal screaming. The sound was so intense that it triggered car alarms in the airport parking garage 3 levels below. But this wasn't the typical excited welcome that celebrities usually receive. Multiple eyewitness accounts describe a scene of absolute terror as fans began climbing over barriers, pushing through security cordons, and literally throwing themselves at the actors. Some fans were so desperate to touch their idols that they suffered serious injuries, including broken bones and lacerations, but continued to pursue the celebrities even while bleeding. "It was like watching a horror movie," said Sarah Chun, an American tourist who was waiting for her connecting flight. "These people had completely lost their minds. I saw teenage girls fainting from exhaustion because they had been screaming for hours, but they wouldn't leave. I saw grown men crying and begging just to touch these actors' clothes. It was honestly the most disturbing display of human behavior I've ever witnessed." The actors themselves appeared visibly terrified as their small security detail was quickly overwhelmed. Video footage that has since gone viral shows SongYun with tears in her eyes, frantically looking for an escape route, while Xukai can be seen trying to shield her from the grabbing hands of fans who had broken through the security perimeter. The desperation in their faces tells a story that their glamorous public image never reveals. The dark side of fame that can quickly turn from adoration into imprisonment. Airport security logs show that within minutes of the actor's appearance, separate incidents were reported, including attempted assault, theft of personal belongings, and what investigators are classifying as aggressive harassment with intent to harm. One fan was caught on security cameras trying to cut a piece of fabric from Xukai's jacket with a pair of scissors, while another attempted to forcibly kiss SongYun before being tackled by security personnel. The breaking point came when a crowd began to surge forward in waves, creating a crushing effect that put everyone in immediate physical danger. Airport emergency protocols were activated, but by then the situation had already spiraled beyond control. The actors found themselves trapped in a nightmare of their own success, unable to move forward or backward as thousands of obsessed fans pressed in from all sides. What happened next has become one of the most controversial decisions in recent South Korean airport security history. Faced with a crowd that was growing increasingly violent and unpredictable, Airport Security Chief Park Sang-ho made the unprecedented decision to place Xukai and SongYun in what he euphemistically called protective custody, but what many are now describing as outright detention. The actors were escorted to a secure holding area typically reserved for individuals suspected of immigration. The aftermath of the Incheon airport incident left a profound impact on all involved, exposing the perilous intersection of celebrity culture and unchecked fan obsession. Xukai and SongYun were eventually released from their 6-hour detention after riot police dispersed the crowd, but the emotional toll was evident. Both actors issued a joint statement expressing gratitude for their fans' passion but urged for respect and safety in future interactions. Tan, still shaken, reportedly took a hiatus from public appearances, while Xukai vowed to bolster personal security measures. The incident sparked a broader reckoning within the entertainment industry. South Korean authorities launched an investigation into the airport's security failures, questioning how sensitive information, including flight details and gate numbers, was leaked to fan networks. Several fan club leaders faced charges for inciting public disorder, as evidence surfaced of their role in orchestrating the chaotic gathering. Incheon Airport implemented stricter crowd control protocols, including limiting access to arrival areas and enhancing surveillance to prevent similar breaches. Beyond logistics, the event ignited global discussions about the toxic underbelly of fan culture. Experts like Dr. Kim Min-young emphasized the need for education on healthy fan idol boundaries, warning that unchecked obsession could lead to further tragedies. Social media platforms faced scrutiny for amplifying the frenzy, with calls for stricter moderation of fan-driven content that promotes invasive behavior. Meanwhile, the injured grandmother's family pushed forward with their lawsuit, demanding accountability from both the airport and the actors' management for failing to anticipate the risks of their high-profile visit. For fans, the incident was a sobering wake-up call. Many expressed remorse, with online communities debating the fine line between admiration and obsession. Some fans organized campaigns to promote respectful support for celebrities, hoping to repair the damaged image of their community. The Love script screening proceeded under heavy security, but the joy of the event was overshadowed by the trauma of the day. Ultimately, the Incheon incident serves as a stark reminder of fame's double-edged sword. While celebrity culture thrives on adoration, it can spiral into chaos when boundaries are ignored. For Xukai, Tan, and their global fan base, this cautionary tale underscores the urgent need for mutual respect to ensure that admiration doesn't turn into a dangerous trap.